It's Madden NFL 23, and coming up, it'll be no holds barred between AFC North rivals. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. All that and more coming up next on EA Sports.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at what's now known as Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati. Today, it's an AFC North matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. Welcome in, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, so much gets made about offensive comparisons. Here's a matchup where the defenses may just take center stage.
Yeah, we're usually talking about guys scoring touchdowns. How about the guys who prevent them and change the momentum of the game when they take the ball away? I love those ball hawks in the secondary. People after my own heart.
Started now, the kicker Chris Boswell, and we are underway from Cincinnati. Fielded just outside the goal line. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And finally stopped, but what a return all the way down to the 40.
It's tough enough to play defense anyway, but after a return like that, now your mindset has to change a little bit. Instead of going out and just getting settled in the first few plays, you have to be prepared for just about anything.
Here are the Bengals on offense, and here is Joe Burrow ready to lead them at quarterback.
And when you come into the league as the #1 guy selected, a lot of hype comes with it. Sometimes that weight can be unbearable. But this young man, he took that weight on and handled it as well as you can imagine. And I love his ability to make a second, third reaction play and create downfield.
Throwing on the first play from scrimmage, here's Burrow. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take over here up near the 40. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what he's thinking about right now is first down, let's find a way to make a big play. Because when you get a sudden change situation, and that defense has to rush onto the field unexpectedly, you might catch them having a defensive breakdown or not quite prepared.
It was really sudden after the first play picked off. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. He was able to escape momentarily in the backfield, but you could just kind of tell that wasn't going anywhere.
You know, in the film session, he'll get a minus for not getting him on the ground by himself. But what the coach is really going to analyze, how fast did his teammates get there to help him? If one guy slows him up, everyone else better be there, and that's what they got on that play.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down and able to knock that one away and force a fourth down.
On fourth down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. Back deep, Trent Taylor. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And they've got to be thrilled to have this game still at 0-0 after the interception thrown on the very first play of the game.
They certainly do. And what I enjoyed was watching him on the sidelines, because as the defense came off, he was there to congratulate him and really say thanks, because he threw the interception. It didn't turn into any points.
No score after one on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. That one taken in by T. Higgins. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Working with a 2nd and 4. Now it's Burrow. Dumps it off to Mixon. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. And Pittsburgh with 6 defensive backs in the game here on 3rd down. Now it's Burrow. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another 1st. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. Well, both teams kind of feeling each other out here. And now after 3 drives, we have a score with that field goal.
Yeah, they're still waiting for their breakout drive to come to them, all right? They're using the playbook well. They're looking for that extra section that says touchdowns instead of field goals. But they'll take the 3 for now and try and get set up for more later.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this 1st half as the kick is away. From the 6. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this 1st half. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the 1st half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Offense is seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. Fielded just outside the goal. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And the Bengals grab it. And he will bring it back to the 40-yard line. And that has to be so frustrating because you know that they had something set up there for this first drive of the second half. It wasn't the fumble.
Sometimes no matter what you go over at halftime, no matter what you say, errors will result, and that's exactly what happened here. They were trying to change things from what happened in the first half. Instead, they continue to make mistakes.
They'll give it to Mixon, and they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Extra bulk up front for 2nd and inches. 3 tight ends. Another try for Mixon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Now a timeout called for by the defense. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. Burrow looking to pass. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Now a timeout called for by the defense. So, boy, that's already the third they burn here. They are out of timeouts now before we've even hit the fourth quarter. So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. And this one will be a 29-yard attempt. McPherson's kick is good. And that will add 3 more to their lead and pushes it up to 6. So the big return had them fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a first down.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 3 quarters in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. Looking to throw here. Pickett. That's to Freiermuth. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Pickett to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is caught. Touchdown. And they're an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final minute. The dramatic score to tie it, and now they just need the PAT to get the lead late fourth quarter.
So much for the touchdown maker. It's all about the extra point attempter. And I can't wait to see how this one turns out.
So they're not home yet. Still a critical extra point here to break the tie. And they have got the lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was finished off by a George Pickens touchdown grab. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. From the 6. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So Burrow and the Bengals down 7-6, 20 seconds to go. And they need about 35 yards to get in range for a winner as they come up on first down. Now Burrow. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Here's Burrow. Pass complete. Hurst. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Now they burn the timeout. And they're kind of in that gray area where they might be able to get 2 plays in, but maybe just 1 play left in this ball game. We'll see. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. To throw, Burrow. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A final shot now for Burrow. He'll air this one out for Boyd. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone.